I am the director of IT, new product development and business development for Nucleus AB, formerly Nucleus Imaging. You know, we are a creative post-finishing house. We are creative executioners. Sometimes we are creative problem solvers. Increasingly, we are process problem solvers. And what we really specialize in doing is helping brands find their way to a consistent identity in the marketplace throughout multiple asset types, throughout multiple media channels. And if you're passionate about producing quality work for your customers and still being able to do it within their budgets, you need good tools to help you author or re-author those, those assets. Because everything is so mediocre. And we don't want to be mediocre. We want to be great. 2008, the crash happened, and everybody was very slow to recover. But you saw people, especially the large consumers of services of companies like mine, completely rejigger their business models. It was a very hard time. So you had to rethink everything about what you were doing if you were even just going to remain viable. And many businesses did not remain viable. Many shops closed. For us, I mean, not only do we have to rethink how we were doing things on sort of a basic level, but, what we started to observe was just this drastic change in the way that services like ours were purchased. So a lot of customers started to, big agencies started to move in-house, they're trying to squeeze every bit of revenue that they could out of their accounts to remain viable themselves. Okay, so if it's money that's driving it, then let's get on board if we're going to stay in business, and let's start driving value differently for our customers. Because it's no longer about buying or chasing one creative project. That is a losing business model. You have to drive value at a whole other level for your customer if you're going to remain relevant to them. So I ended up in the role that I'm in simply by virtue of the fact that I am the only guy in the company who set out to sell that way, and landed an opportunity with a customer who wasn't happy with the quality of their finishing work at another vendor. And but said, look, we want to buy your finishing work, but you've got to give us, bundled into that, you've got to give us digital asset management, you've got to give us soft proofing, and you've got to give us a distribution system, for all of this. We went ahead and started development of something that, didn't really exist at the time. We integrated Dialog and Xinet, but in a way that, essentially was meant to be a project management tool in terms of how to translate that idea into software process. We needed some help about how to think about that, the different steps, because these were relatively, I don't want to say they were new technologies to us, but we were not utilizing them, and so we needed some instruction. We made the jump to IO. IO had built a bigger presence in New York, and we felt like they were going to be a good partner fit for us, going forward. And they've just been an incredibly valuable resource for me as advisors about how we think about our technology stack. So it's a partnership I really value a lot, and I credit them a lot with helping us turn something that was like kind of viable into just something that was like a ridiculous success. So we rolled the stuff out, ES, Twist, Xinet, set everything up, learned how to use the system, went through a couple of iterations, some reconfigurations, because you never get it right the first time. And developed, a really nice, quick system that, that created the deliverables that, this customer wanted, and in a way that they wanted, but with an immediacy that they'd never experienced. Then all of a sudden, we had this weird experience, which is like, wow, this whole thing, like this whole production process compared to every other client that we service, this is like really quiet and just works really well. You know, like this just is really like not stressful. Okay, like I'm kind of worried about the silence. Like I don't understand. Like I get no, you know, it just, I mean, the work is coming, the POs are coming, like you're getting your quotes on time, you know, like everything, it's just paperwork moving back and forth at this point now. If I could automate that, I would. But, you know, she was like, you know, compared to where we were working before, you know, we've gotten about 7 months, in about 7 months, we've done about a year's worth of work compared to where we were before. And the assets are better. You know, our studio in-house is more productive as a result. Yeah, we don't have any problems at all, man. You know, and I was like, wow, okay, so you don't want to change anything? Everything's good? Yeah, go away, goodbye.